People cannot be brought together on the strength of high ideals alone. This I know from painful experience. Wrenden was right to demand proof of Master Chai's commitment. Right then. If there's a particular issue you would have me resolve, you seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Eulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Yes, meal being neither a desirable nor less a sustainable option, I assume alternate foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Eulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all. The long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade of our foodstuff must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago after speaking with the people of Eulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chai Nuzz. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet, only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Wrenden, and one which I have given much thought. I propose the use of tellers to aid in the establishment and maintenance of settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Tellers? But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago, without a ready supply of the necessary equipment. The people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that tellers are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need to in no time at all. Yeah, when it comes to tellers, he's confident. At least with the normal ones. With the other, we had to help him because of how ridiculous a plot it was. That Wrenden geezer doesn't seem so bad. What was Master Chai worried about? He got himself to give himself some more credit. Do you see it? There's a fire in Master Chai's eyes that was not there when first we met. A fire we'd best keep keen if we wish to see Eulmore change for the better. You had a hand in constructing that giant talus to the north, did you not? When the Eulmorean volunteers began arriving, I hid myself away lest I be recognized, thus depriving myself of what I'm reliably informed was a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. Burger. Wrenden is quite right. Building talus from scratch would require time we simply do not have. Which I propose to make use of a long-abandoned talus which wander the wilds of Colusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rank. Come with me. It's one thing to repair an immobile talus as Yuyanji did, but quite another to catch one, surely. Does it not sound a trifle dangerous? How do you catch a talus, then? Dig a hole and lure it in? So he's an authority on tellers, is he? Whatever surprises could he be hiding, I wonder. The old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dashingly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of aether in a Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let fly. Thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of a trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Eulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I've said before, it's high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even if Talos ain't a threat, there's 101 other things out there waiting to make a meal out of you. That may be, Cashier, but Wrenden tasked me with solving this problem, and I will not sit idly by while others risk themselves to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which isn't to say the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Here. Well, it should go without saying, but I have no intention of dying for this. I have always preferred living to see the fruits of my labor. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It's as Cashier said, these lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I will also need you to alert me when it's safe to subdue the Talos, understood? Good. Let's be off to the quick way. Through the north gate and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. And perhaps it's best to approach from the rear. Easy enough. I did it. I did it. Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? Okay, again. Yeah, we have bombs here. Or whatever they are called. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Soenia. That should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. Took me long enough. Our friend returned with nary a scratch. Well done. I can scarce believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Eulmore's food stores showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it's plain your time at Daedalus Stonework has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Eulmore. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which I would ask you to join me and grant Eulmore the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these tellers, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Eulmore's leadership is in capable hands. Do you not agree? We should probably be getting back soon, Master Chai. After you think out of the tellers and all. Lady Chai is worried sick.
Right then. Form a line and make for Eulmore.
What's that noise? Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard! Stay back! All of you!
Is that... Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see...
Dearest, I can't...
Oh! Oh dear.
Strong. Ah. Healing magic.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Oh, how
And the spine again.
Dearest, please!
Ragdoll. So it was my tab. Still, seeing Master Chai go afterwards tell us was something, huh? Inspiring stuff. I guess the future of Eulmore has never looked brighter. Yeah, unless Lady Chai manages to kill him. I'm fine. Just need a moment. Thank you again for finding my husband. I confess I was not expecting your return to be quite so grand. That dear sweet man, he's going to make the most wonderful mayor, I just know it. That was quite the reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. More seriously, the arrival of Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread around Eulmore, it will be that much simpler to gather one and all, so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. Pain and pleasure. No need to fret, Serenia. I have never felt better. And not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Eulmore. As for where to do it, if we are to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. Then I will go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bonded, that they are to assemble there to meet their new mayor. You were, cashier, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gatetown of the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. I will let the guard know not to bar the way to Warfrey's chamber. It goes without saying that I expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming she's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? The doorman at Crown Lift will show you up. Ah yes, Master Chai told us to expect you. The Emergent's already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizen and not citizen. But for you, our guest of honor, we have reserved a place at the front. Right with them, miss.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Eulmore to look around? Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gatetown too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Eulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Forthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Eulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vorthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Eulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Eulmore!
Honestly, that was a very good speech by Master Chai. Seeing everyone come together like that was beautiful, that was. Now our works can begin in earnest. I very much look forward to seeing this Eulmore for the people. The city of final pleasures, they used to call this place, back when the world was ending, but now I hope it will become the city of new endeavors. Wasn't he simply wonderful? Seeing him take charge of a room as he did? Oh, it reminds me why I fell in love with him in the first place. That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them into action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all of this, it is that change begins with the individual. But it's a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming I follow Eulmore's can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all these changes just possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which the city stands. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving to the emergency list. It's too big for one thing and too far from the people for another. We will return in our current residence and I will govern here in the parlor. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Yes, of course. Haven't bet? Aye, that's me. I liked your speech, but there's folk outside these walls as don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting the crumbs. If you have a plan to change it, I want to help set things in motion. And we have much to discuss. No sooner do I take office with my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Serenia. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had to resolve to remain here until such time as Eulmore's future was secured, but it's clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence we will find the way, and I believe it is time we went ours. With Master Chai at the helm, if only for the interim, I feel I can bid farewell to Eulmore and return to the source with no regrets. So Arvin's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my time dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. But paradise is gone, but something better is taking its place. I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Eulmore for the people Master Chai has been going on about ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference though. Help keep things changing for the better. A far nobler deed than one to which you clung before. And one I'm happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas of how we can do our bit. Just a matter of taking a first step. Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. I believe it's the last quest for the patch. Truly, to see Kashir was inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Eulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. May Backlook's studies have borne fruit in our absence. No, not this episode anymore. Eventually. Yeah. I think I end it here and probably cut this into 2 episodes, looking at the time. Until next time then, I am Ace, and don't get lost.